Hi, everybody, and welcome to Proline Daily, the Wednesday edition of the longest-running sports handicapping show in America, coming to you direct from Las Vegas. Baseball for tonight, a couple of day games, but the most everything is in the there's 2 day games. Everything else is tonight. Jim, 22-11-1 is your current high-end inner circle baseball release run. 4-0 this week with a nice dog of the Twins, plus 150. 4-0. That must have been Sunday, and the Braves and Padres going under the total last night, a 3-0 game.
You know, Dave, it's been a good run on the high-end plays. Last year, 2016, it was everything. Everything I touched, the small plays, the big plays, the middle plays, they all were winning. This year, it's mostly just the big plays, which is great because that's where most of the money goes for my clients and myself. We're going to try to crank it up and keep it going across the board. But those big plays, I can't complain. 22-11, 4-0 with the Twins. You know, the whole thing has been great. My interleague game of the month cast also with Tampa Bay. Now, I have a red-hot inner circle release today at jimfeist.com. And when you purchase, they're going to ask you, do you have a coupon? The answer is yes, you do. Just type in Jim50 and get a 50% reduction in the price.
I've got 2 plays as of now for tonight. One's a runs line. Actually, it's a -1. And the other is a straight money line play. You can get each play for $25. Or if you use the coupon Dave50, you'll get both plays for one low price. So make sure to take advantage by going to jimfeist.com and getting those 2 games tonight. Might have something that I add later once the lineups come out. I am waiting for lineups so I can complete my models. You gotta know who's playing. So there could be additions later on, but that I don't know yet. Cardinals and Diamondbacks will play tonight. The Cardinals let one get away last night as their bullpen failed them. They were up 5-2 going to the 8th inning. Rosenthal gives up 2, and then the very first batter in the 9th inning hits one out, and that makes it 5-5. And at that point, I thought Arizona became a big favorite at that point, and indeed they pushed across the run without too much trouble in the 10th inning to pick up another win. They'll go at it tonight. Adam Wainwright on the mound, and Wainwright has been good at home and really bad on the road. I mean, really bad on the road. So it becomes very difficult to support anything that would point to St. Louis here. The question is, do you want to lay a fairly good-sized price with the Diamondbacks? Well, on value, I'd say that's the only way to go right now. I think the line should be higher than it is, Jim.
Well, you know, Dave, you got the splits. We talk about splits a lot. And then, of course, you have your team versus team. The only reason, well, I'm sure people can find a lot of reasons, but the one thing, Cardinals have done very well against Arizona in the past. The over in their last 9 games is 7-1-1. They've won 7 of the last 10 games at Arizona, and they hold a head-to-head record of 39-20. However, to me, that's ancient history.
Yep.
I go by current form. I'm more of I like to have the history there. It's kind of like more of a psychological edge or comfort level, let's say. But current form is more important in all sports to me. And Arizona's on a 13-2 run, number 5 in runs, number 8 in on-base percentage. Pitching's number 2. ERA is 3.35. They've got a red-hot pitcher on the mound tonight against a very poor Wainwright on the road. I don't think the price is even close to being right. 135 opened up to 1. And actually, it's not. Some places are exactly that. I don't understand it. You got a better team at home with a better pitcher on a better run. To me, this should be almost 2-1. I think it's a silly price.
You know, it's interesting. I'm not big on playing what I call square games, and this is a square game. I mean, the Diamondbacks are going to get a whopping majority of the tickets in this game. The money actually kind of split right now. which is a little bizarre. So you could make a case that some of the sharp money is showing actually on Arizona to keep this line where it is. But I'm just not buying it. I haven't completed my models because I need lineups, but the early stuff indicates the game should be more of the 170 range. I mean, Diamondbacks are simply a much better baseball team right now. Cardinals, and all you got to do is look. The Cardinals are 6 games under 500, and they're 6 games under 500 on the road. Arizona's 50-28. You're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna have to show me why this line's in the 130s. So it 50, looks trappy, but boy,
It makes no sense. I don't. This is one of those don't make sense games.
Yeah.
And I hate to run into the public foray here, but we say there's going to be more bets on Arizona, but that should mean 80% of the bets should be on Arizona. Well, there's only 69% of the bets on Arizona at the moment, so I don't really get it. I'm going to be there. I'm laying the run line. I'm getting plus 150, minus 1.5 runs. I've got, I'm going to be playing Arizona over their own team run line, and I'm going to be on Arizona first 5 and Arizona game. So carry me out. It's happened before, but I've been red hot with my big plays, and this is a freebie to the customers.
Dodgers and Angels continue the Freeway Series tonight. 1-1 so far as the Angels win on Monday. Ricky Nolasco, of all people, throwing the gem. Dodgers returned the favor with a shutout last night. And they are playing tremendous baseball. This team is a monster right now. But the Angels, I'm telling you what, that's a pesky baseball team. Even without Mike Trout, they've managed to hang in there. They're right in the wild card race in the American League. They're still, they're game over 500, which is pretty impressive. I think Socha's done a really good job with this team. Alex Meyer, the very tall right-hander, will be on the mound for the Angels tonight. He has trouble repeating his delivery, and that gets him into problems with his control at times. But when he is commanding his pitches, you know what? He looks like a guy who could be a pretty good one down the road. Were you on the mound for the Dodgers? There aren't too many negatives on this Dodgers team this year, but you would be one of them. He does not have particularly good numbers. And the Angels are going to be very fired up for this. Now, they're not real good against lefties, but I can't say. I would say there's a little value, not enough for me to play, a little value on the Angels, and we are starting to see in that direction. The Angels are starting to pick up a little bit of the money, not big, but it's tilting that way.
Your analysis is perfect, Dave. I don't have a side on this game. I will say this: I'm a little surprised. The first 2 games were both 4-0 or 4-0 victories. 2 shutouts they reversed. It is a little bit of a Southern California rivalry. They're not that many miles apart, and that probably means something. You don't hear about it. You don't hear about this as a rivalry like a Boston Yankee thing, but I'm sure that's developing. This is a tough game. I don't have any skin in the game on this one at all.
No, neither do I. So we both kind of like the Diamondbacks. And we're just going to sit back and enjoy the action in the Freeway Series between the Angels and the Dodgers. If you want to,
Dave, I'd like to bring something up before we begin to sign off. It was a big trade in basketball, and I know you're. I mean, it's off season. It doesn't really matter but as far as win totals and odds to win the championships and stuff, Houston just picked up CP3, Chris Paul. How do they mesh up together? Harden and Paul together on the same team. They both like a basketball.
Oh, that doesn't scare me at all. I mean, I think it's a great pickup for Houston. I think the worries about that stuff are done. Curry, Thompson, Durant. There's 3 guys who all like the basketball. I think Golden State's been pretty good. That combination's worked out pretty well. And this is the way the league is driven now. It's a combine superstars and go out and contend for a championship. Houston now has 2 tremendous superstars in Paul and Harden. And Harden had to do everything last year. He was the playmaker. He was the scorer. He did everything. Now he's got Chris Paul out there. who's as good a distributor as you're going to find and could also shoot the basketball. Houston will certainly be the number 2 seed on the price in the Western Conference now. No question about it. And
yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Dave. And the odds really have changed dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
Houston went way down in price, as far as winning the championship, and I didn't see the number of wins they would get, but I'm sure that's gone up as well. This is interesting, and you're right. We're building super teams, but there's 32 of them, and you're only going to have a few super teams. Where the rest of the teams do just take off the whole year?
Well, effectively so, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
that's what the league is. Well, look, I mean, I don't think there's anything they can do about it. Basketball's a star-driven sport. You've only got 5 guys playing on each team, and the cream of the crop is just better than everybody else by a wide margin. So, if there was some way to fix it, or if there is some way to fix it and make it more competitive, I sure don't know what it is.
Well, I think there is an answer. There is an answer to it, and it's called consolidation. I don't think we're going to see it, but the 32 could end up being 24, and then you'd have the better players on less teams, which would make them all a little bit more competitive. That's probably not going to happen, but that would probably be the most logical answer.
Yep, and it's not going to happen. In fact, at some point they'll probably expand. So, no, it's all about money, and they're running a business. And they're not going to get rid of teams that are making money. So, that we'll see what happens. I'm looking. At least we got a Western Conference Finals next year that should be a lot of fun because maybe the Spurs can hang in there. So maybe you'll have 3 teams. But
Dave, I'd like to bring up something else. Talk about another sport. I personally do have WNBA plays and CFL plays, and of course, we look at horse racing, and we got Hank Goldberg on tap for that, and he's very good at what he does, and he's good at sports as well. And then we have the NFL, that little league that everybody talks about, where Tom Brady wins the championship every year, and et cetera, et cetera. That's coming up soon, and the preseason starts in a month.
Yeah.
And I personally am going to have a preseason special. And if you have one, Dave, I'd like you to talk about it. And that would be, it's $99 for the preseason. But if you sign up very soon, I'll have a date on that and a time limit on that for $29. That'll be amazing. And we got some other very interesting specials as to how to add a little bit money into your account if you're a player, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I got going on, and I'm excited because we're only a month away. We do a little all-star break coming up. Poker's going on here in Las Vegas. It's an exciting time. The World Series of Poker is out there. I got a team of players out there that I personally sponsor, and they're fighting every day out there in the events. And they're not doing that well, but I'm hopeful that they'll do well as the bigger games come up. But that's what I got going on, other than just the baseball. So I know you got a lot of stuff too, Dave.
Yep, CFL definitely, and still playing the PGA. Got a good run on a Charlie Hoffman last week at a big price. Didn't quite get there, but he had a top 5, which I was pleased with. And got a couple of guys this week that I like at what I think are attractive prices. So we'll just keep on firing away and trying to get a nice little return for everybody's investment. And I'll ring in as well with that NFL preseason special. I'll do the same thing. When you release yours, I'll release mine at the same price. And, NFL exhibition games have been good to me over the past few years, so I don't see any reason that's not going to be the same thing this year. Meanwhile, if you want to get free plays every day on a recorded message, just call 888-294-1970.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jim Feist Sports. And you can get free plays from me as well by texting GAME, G-A-M-E, to 25827. Also, I'd like to remind everybody out there that these podcasts take a little time and money to produce each and every day. We got John Cranton in the studio doing the mechanical work on this, and many times you'll hear him. And Dave and I jumping in and doing them every day. We'd like you to keep listening, tell your friends about it. Let's build the following. And remember this. You don't run businesses with no business. So if you want to keep this kind of stuff going and keep hearing good stuff, and it'll even get better as the season comes in, participate. Go to jimfeist.com, tap in and buy some of Dave's plays and mine too, and some of the other people on the site. We're pretty good at what we do. And if you want to keep getting this kind of stuff, nothing is for free for life. You got to contribute occasionally. So to speak, like PBS, they need contributions as well. So jump in there and do your part.
There you go. Sounds good. And meanwhile, we'll say thanks for joining us, and we will see you on Thursday with another edition of Proline Daily from Las Vegas.